everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In this video I want to go over one of the most important aspects of farming that gets overlooked all the time, and it is bookwork. So as many of you know, if you follow along with a lot of my videos, that this is my first year of farming, real farming. I've been the hired hand for our family farm now for 9 years, and we finally picked up some ground that I get to farm some of it. And so I've been doing all the bookkeeping and all the decisions on my part of the land, well, that most farmers get to do. So this is kind of my first time going through it, and I figure I would let everyone else know kind of what really goes into farming, start to finish. We got some bitter cold weather, so perfect time to get it done. Let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a total loss. Now for that, farmers have insurance. You get three basic choices of insurance that most people go with: 75%, 80%, or 85%. And this is considered the premium option. Now in this example, I'm going to use 85% because that is actually what I chose to go with this year. So to plug this into any kind of formula, you're gonna need to know your county average of bushels per acre. And for this county in Iowa, it is 180 bushels for corn and 53 bushels for beans. What we're gonna do is take 180, we're gonna times that by 85%, because that is what I chose to go with for my coverage. Same thing, beans, 53 times 85%. So when we find our answer, it's 153 and 45. So my insurance is going to cover 153 bushels per acre of corn and 45 bushels per acre of soybeans. So what that means is if I have a total loss, this will be my base payout. So the next thing we'll have to know is what my corn and bean acres are for a total. I have 19.12 acres of corn and 17.13 acres of beans. The next thing you'll have to know is what the insurance company is willing to pay per bushel. So every year they come out with a different figure, and this year it is $14.26 per bushel for soybeans and $5.86 for corn. So where does that come into play? Well, you take your guaranteed bushels times your acres times your price, and that's how much money you potentially could get paid out in a disaster or in just poor yielding conditions as well. I will spare you the math, but what my total loss price will be $17,111.25 on corn, and then I will get $10,957 on beans. But once again, what that is 85% of the county average. So you're only getting 85% of what you would have made if you didn't have a crop failure. But at 153, you're still getting a very good price at $5.85 for corn and $14 for beans. So that's why these prices are so high this year. That also means that the insurance premium is going to be higher. It's $28.20 on corn, and it's $26.80 on beans per acre for the premium. So I will end up paying $998.26 roughly. I haven't got my final bill yet. I'm assuming it's going to be close to that. I should get a little bit of a discount because I'm a first-time farmer, so they give first-time farmers a little bit of a break. I just don't know how much yet. So what does all this mean at the end of the day? Let me tell you. So this is my grand check if I lose everything. Now my expenses are, as of now, $10,814.26. So if we were to subtract these, we would get a grand total of $17,254.09. So that means my insurance premium in the worst case scenario would make me $17,000. So it would pay for my expenses and maybe a little bit of living money. Now, more than likely, that's not gonna happen, but at least my ass is covered. This tells you that I overbought on my insurance. But the way I see it is it's my first year and I wanna be able to pay that loan back. Now we're gonna get to this $17,000 comes into play. Now that we figured out how much I'm covered for bushels wise, this is where things get a little bit tricky and I'm gonna try and explain it the best I can. Okay, now that we've figured out how much I'm totally covered for and that my loan will get paid back, we're gonna talk about the next thing, and it's called forward contracting. Forward contracting is a contract that I can go to the co-op and sign, and I can sell corn or soybeans today. Now, I won't get a check until I fulfill this contract with the amount of corn or soybeans that I agreed upon. So if I were to walk into the co-op today and sell for what's called off the combine, it would be more than likely while we're harvesting in October. And right now, the price for that, $5.92 for corn, $13.99 for beans. And that is October's prices, bear in mind. Okay, what we're gonna do next is find out my total bushels of corn and then soybeans. So we're gonna take the county average again because we don't actually know what my corn and soybeans are gonna produce bushel-wise. So my total corn acres times 180 bushels per acre gives me 3,441.6. So the county average for soybeans with my acres will be 907 bushels. Now this is all estimated, and it's kind of a big thing with farming that it's really just gambling. So in my case, an average year would be this many bushels of corn, this many bushels of soybeans. Now we're gonna take the corn bushels times the corn price. Same thing for beans, and let's see what we get here. I ended up with a grand total of $20,000, $374.27. Corn. Soybeans, $12,688.93. So to find my total income, I would have to add those two numbers, and this would be an average year's income. With today's prices, I should add, which they're crazy high. $33,063.20. Put a little. Okay. Looks great. So I could walk into the co-op right now, sign a contract, and sell this many bushels, and if I fulfill this contract, I will get $33,000 in return. No questions asked. But if I were to sell this many bushels of corn and soybeans, thinking that it will be an average year, because I want to take advantage of these excellent prices we have today, well, my insurance covers, minus my expenses, $17,000. Now, if I wanted to sell my total bushels and get $33,000 and I had a total loss, well, guess what? I would still have to pay back my loan, $17,000, and guess what? The co-op's out of that corn and soybeans. So you know what they want in return? Cold hard cash. So you're gonna have to fork out, well, we could do the math. I now owe the co-op $4,994.85. Squiggle, squiggle. So you can see now why you wanna know how much you're covered with your insurance. So to find the amount of bushels I can actually safely sell and possibly break even in the case of a total loss. It is truly the only amount of bushels I would be safe to walk into a co-op today and actually forward contract, knowing that I'm covered by my insurance. What I would have to do is take this number, and what I'm going to do is just divide it in two, because I have two products to sell, corn and then soybeans. It's $8,627.05. So what you would do to find out what this would be in corn bushels or soybean bushels is divide it by the price of what you're guaranteed by your insurance company. And it was that $5 and that $14 price. And what it ends up being is, for my corn, I could safely sell 1,472, and in my beans I could sell 604. So I could walk into a co-op and safely contract that many bushels of corn and soybeans. That includes paying back the loan as well, because I've already subtracted that from my total insurance price. Hopefully you follow along with all this. I know there's a lot of numbers. This is everything you gotta think of, when you're farming. So what we're gonna talk about next is the safest option and probably the most practiced. So to start out this scenario, we are going to use today's prices. So for corn, it's $7.03 a bushel right now. Constantly changes. This is an amazing price. Soybeans, today, we're at $15.73. Extremely high. Now you may be asking, why are these prices higher than if you were to sell in October? It's because I'm taking about a $2 decrease in pay per bushel, which adds up a lot. I will let you do the math if you want to, but it does add up a lot. Like, I would be out thousands. However, I am guaranteed to get excellent prices still because these prices are crazy high. The safest way is to not forward contract anything. Wait until your crop grows, harvest it in October, and sell just the bushels you physically have. So, say I did end up getting my average year's bushels, which is 3,441.6 and 907 of beans. So let's drop it down to what the government loan officer has me making on paper. If I remember right, it was $5 for corn and $10 for beans. Those could be real October numbers. We don't know. Okay, so the government has me making $17,208 on corn, $9,070 on beans. We'll add them together to find a total pay. It's $26,278. So this number is potentially, if I wait and stay on the safe side, and then this number here is if I wanted to gamble it all away and possibly pay back the co-op. The last number I wanted to throw at you is if I were to contract these amounts of bushels, which is what my insurance covers, minus the $10,000 for expenses. This is if I were to try and just make zero in a worst case scenario. I would end up with 8,000. Basically, I would end up with this 17,000 number. If I fulfilled that contract, I could actually just use the 17,000, pay off that loan, have 7,000 extra, and some bushels that, since I didn't have a total disaster, I would still have to sell at whatever off the combine price would be. Even I'm getting a headache from this. Maybe I could sell just enough to cover my loan at today's prices, since I know they're good. Or I could wait, they could go up and I could make more money off the combine. They could go way down. The other thing is I'm using a county average for my bushels. I could potentially get 60 bushel beans and 200 bushel corn, which isn't all that uncommon these days. And then I make even more money. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. So all of these prices and amounts of bushels are just kind of being on the safe side. And I'm still gambling away. You could still lose money. So how is that for a farming lesson today? I'm confused, you're confused, we're all confused. But be sure to follow along with all these farm videos this year, because we'll see whether I make money or lose money, and how much I make or how much I lose. I'm basically a professional gambler at this point. So if you could give this video a like and maybe comment if you have any questions. I'm sure out of all this, there's probably a few mathematical errors, but I think I did a pretty good job. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to comment down below, because it also helps out the YouTube algorithm, whatever that is.